When I look back at how this whole journey started, it feels like I'm watching a movie about someone else. The person I was before YouTube, I barely recognize him. I wasn't confident, definitely not outgoing, and I truly believed I had nothing special to share with the world. I just had this quiet fascination with videos. I was captivated by people who could turn on a camera, talk about something they loved, and somehow connect with millions of strangers. It seemed like magic, like they possessed some secret formula I could never crack. But a small voice inside me kept wondering, could I learn that magic too? At first, I didn't have a plan. I was just a viewer. I'd binge watch creators late into the night, completely mesmerized by how they could make me laugh, think, or even cry, all through a tiny screen. It wasn't just their talent that struck me, but their courage. It takes a strange kind of bravery to put yourself out there, to speak into a lens and let the entire world judge you. But I noticed something else, something even more powerful. Authenticity. The creators who truly resonated with me weren't always the most polished or perfect. They were the ones who were real. They showed their flaws, their awkward moments, and their failures. That made them human, and that's what made me believe. Maybe I could be one of them too. Deciding to actually start was the most terrifying step. I spent weeks agonizing over what kind of content I should even make. I didn't want to copy anyone, but I had no idea what my own unique voice was. I made endless lists of ideas, pulling from hobbies and interests, but every time I thought about hitting upload, this wave of self-doubt would just wash over me. Who would even care about this? I'd ask myself. The fear of embarrassment was paralyzing. But then, one quiet afternoon, a simple thought hit me. Nobody starts with confidence. Confidence is what you earn after you start, not before. So, I did it. I recorded my first video. And let me tell you, it was rough. The lighting was terrible, my voice was shaking, and the editing was so clumsy. I must have re-recorded the intro 20 times. I remember sitting there, my palms sweating, forcing a smile that looked anything but natural. When I finally uploaded it, my heart was pounding out of my chest like I'd just confessed a huge secret to the entire internet. I told myself not to expect anything, but of course, I couldn't stop refreshing the page. After hours, it had maybe 10 views, and half of them were probably me. But a strange thing happened. I wasn't disappointed. I felt a spark. I had actually done it. I had faced the fear and created something real. In those first few weeks, I learned just how much work goes into every single minute of content. Recording is just the tip of the iceberg. The editing, the thumbnails, the titles, the tags. It took more time than I ever could have imagined. I studied everything: lighting angles, video structure, background music, even how to sit with better posture. My small room became this makeshift studio. I was hanging bedsheets to soften the light and taping my phone to a stack of books to use as a tripod. Every video was an experiment, and every mistake was a lesson. Slowly, my confidence started to grow. Not because I was getting famous, but because I was getting better. The early days on YouTube are humbling. You pour your soul into a video for days, upload it, and get maybe 5 comments. If you're lucky. But in that tiny trickle of feedback, I found my motivation. A simple comment like, "I love your energy," or "This really helped me," was all it took to keep me going. I realized that behind every view count is a real person, and if I could make just one person's day a little better, then I'd already succeeded in a small way. The growth was slow, painfully slow. I'd see other creators just explode overnight, their subscriber count skyrocketing while mine just crawled along. Comparison became my biggest enemy. It made me question everything. Was I good enough? Was my content boring? Should I just change my style completely? But I had to learn to shift my focus from the numbers to the process. Instead of obsessing over analytics, I focused on making each video just 1% better than the last. That became my strategy. 1% doesn't sound like much, but it compounds. Over months, it changes everything. There were so many nights when I just wanted to give up. Editing sessions would stretch into the early morning hours. I'd be staring at the screen, completely exhausted, wondering if any of it was worth it. But then I'd remember why I started. Not for fame, not for money, but to create, to tell stories, to connect. That purpose became my anchor. I started treating YouTube less like a race and more like a craft. I studied storytelling. I watched tutorials. I learned about audience psychology. The more I learned, the more I realized that success on YouTube isn't just about luck. It's about understanding people. What makes them click, what makes them stay, and what makes them come back for more. The first time one of my videos started getting traction, it felt surreal. It wasn't viral, not by a long shot, but after months of getting a few hundred views, one video suddenly hit a few thousand. I remember waking up, checking my analytics, and just seeing the graph spike upwards. For the first time, I saw comments from people I didn't know, from different countries, speaking different languages. It hit me then that my little video, filmed in my little room, had traveled farther than I ever could. That's when I understood the true power of this platform. But even a little success brings new challenges. Suddenly, I felt this pressure. Pressure to keep performing, to outdo myself with every single video. The fear of failure came back, but this time it was disguised as the fear of losing momentum. I started overthinking everything again, trying to replicate what worked. But you can't chase the algorithm forever. It changes too fast. What never changes is genuine connection. I had to learn to balance strategy with authenticity, and I found that when I focused on the message instead of the metrics, the results followed naturally. Behind the scenes, this life isn't as glamorous as it looks. There's burnout, loneliness, and constant uncertainty. People see the highlight reel, but they don't see the countless failed ideas or the days you just feel empty. I've sat in front of this camera forcing an energy I just didn't have. But those low moments taught me resilience and discipline more than any success ever could. One of the most powerful lessons was that consistency builds trust. Not just with your audience, but with yourself. Every upload, even the ones that flopped, was proof that I was still in the game. Over time, people started to notice. Comments turned into conversations. I started recognizing familiar names. It felt like a small community was forming. That's when I knew that popularity isn't about numbers. It's about connection. As my channel grew, I grew as a person. I learned how to speak with confidence, how to handle criticism, and how to see mistakes not as failures, but as data. This mindset shift made the process exciting again. Instead of chasing perfection, I started chasing growth. And I made a promise to myself: never lose the reason I started. The real reward isn't the likes or subscribers. It's the process, the late nights, the breakthroughs, and the moments of vulnerability that connect you to others. Looking back, becoming popular on YouTube wasn't about a secret formula. It was about persistence, learning, and emotional honesty. It was about daring to be seen, not as someone perfect, but as someone real. I didn't just grow a channel, I grew into myself. The journey was messy and unpredictable, but it changed everything. And even now, every time I hit upload, I still feel that little flutter in my chest. But now I know that fear just means I care. It means I'm still creating from the heart. And that's what keeps me going. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey with me. If this story resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you'd like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.